It's Easter, so let's do an updated houseplant tour. Now first, tell me at the end of the video how many chickens did you see? Those little yellow bastards. Now first I have some flowers growing here. This for example is an Oxalis triangularis and the rest haven't come out yet. Back there I have a white Princess Philodendron, which fell yesterday. Princess Philodendrons always have some pink in them, like the pink Princess Philodendron, which I am propagating right now. But when it matures, the plant can also get some pink variegation, and of course in the stems you can see some pink. Now I have a few cacti, which I have spread pretty much all across my room. I didn't really bother to learn their names, but I just do like them. I think these are grown from seed, by the way, not mine though. And over here I have a little display which is a bit overgrown. So I think I'm going to need to remove that big one over there. But I got some aloe vera in here, some other cacti which I don't know the name of, but I do really like this. And this Tillandsia used to live in here. Over here I have another seed growing which will flower in about 120 days, it said on the box. Down here I have a Euphorbia leuconerea, which you don't really see well on camera, but it lost some leaves so it looks a bit, bald. Here I have some Calicia cuttings. This is a Monstera borsigiana, also known as the small form Monstera. I am growing it in leca. And over here I also have a Monstera adansonii mint cutting in it, starting to grow a leaf. And over here I have a mother plant, which I cut back to the base, I think in February, and it's already growing 2 new shoots. Over here I have a orange philodendron, and I have another one over here. Over here in my IKEA acre bar cabinet, which I made 2 days ago. I have this back wall, and personally I think it's really beautiful. I did some spray glue on this, I threw sand on it, moss, sphagnum moss, and of course all kinds of plants. Like over here a Tradescantia cutting, over here another. I have a Hedera helix in here, which you can find basically everywhere in the Netherlands, just growing on trees and indoors. I have this flowering plant, bought a few days ago, but it reminded me of the time I was in Gran Canaria, because my mother and I bought this one and we gave it to the cleaning lady, because of course we couldn't bring it home. Now I have the same plant in my room. What else? Let me know in the comments how many chickens you see in this video, and with chickens I mean these little yellow things. And whoever guesses it right gets a free shout out in my next short. Over here I have this lemon lime Maranta cutting, which I got from a friend. And like I said before, a pink Princess Philodendron cutting. Now I have a Fittonia over here, and not one, but 2 more. Right here I have a caladium bulb, which now is sprouting. And down here I have another one, and down here I have a Calicia cutting, which is growing in the wood and in the sphagnum moss. I have the Pilea depressa over here, some tiny Hoya cuttings, a Syngonium, which is getting a new leaf. I have this crawling plant, which I don't know the name of. This self-grown begonia, which I took from a leaf cutting, and this baby plant grew out of it. Just my pinky finger for size comparison. And another begonia over here. Over here I have this ficus, more self-grown calicias, a tiny self-grown Chlorophytum comosum, this jade plant, this pink begonia, my moss ball, which actually produces oxygen, a Rapidophora over here, which is pretty full. I have another Monstera borsigiana in leca over here, and the beautiful Anthurium. Look at those shiny glittery leaves. By the way, look how long this petiole is. And over here I have another Pretty big chlorophyllum commotion, which I grew myself. I got this plant from a friend, and that cutting was about this big. And in 1 year time I've succeeded to fully grow it to a mature plant which has flowered once. This one is actually variegated, but it doesn't have that much variegation. Over here I have another one. In the background I have this cute little pothos, also known as an epipremnum, a Lalonia, a baby calanguay, also known as a mother of thousand, a Glycia, is a wet stick cutting from a Monstera adansonii, which I grew myself. This is the mother plant of that Monstera adansonii. This is also one of its babies, and I have about 12 more propagations downstairs. I have a pretty big Alocasia amazonica over here. I bought it at, let's see, IKEA. It gave me 25 beautiful babies, which I all sold. And it's gone pretty bald. It had a pretty rough winter, but it did keep 2 leaves. The rest died. It just dropped all of its leaves and it's finally regrowing it back. Over here another self-grown Begonia maculata. Here a terrarium that has a, let's see, Fittonia and some moss. This one has moss, a Fittonia, spiderwood and a Pelea depressa. This one just some weeds, a sad little Glycia, and over here I have a Fittonia. Over here I have another Hedera helix. Over here too, a epipremnum cutting. I have 2 begonias, some ficus cuttings, a yucca, this amaryllis which has finally produced leaves. Over here I have this papyrus, which I got for Halloween last year, and it sits in a little layer of water. This is a dwarf papyrus, which grows in the Nile, which is a river in Egypt. Egyptians used to make paper out of this, so they named the word paper after the papyrus plant. Here I have another terrarium, which has isopods, and this one is actually shedding its skin. Wow! Let's see, I have this little Riger begonia, some cacti, a Glycia cutting, a Ficus elastica. I have this Potiphyllum, which is which is blooming right now, also known as the peace lily, Monstera adansonii, and moss. Then over here I have my ficus. It's a pretty big tree, but it only costed me 60 bucks. I haven't spotted a single grow point yet, but maybe it's just because we just got out of the winter period. And for some reason, 2 bird nests in my tree without paying rent! And over here I have my amethyst. I have some plant cuttings. I hope you enjoyed. Bye! And don't forget to subscribe.